Ukraine is a land shaped by centuries of struggle for independence and sovereignty. Its strategic location, vast natural resources, and position as a bridge between East and West have made it a pivotal player in global geopolitics and a constant target for Russia. What does this conflict mean for the balance of power worldwide? What is Russia truly seeking in Ukraine? What is the geostrategic value of Crimea? And what treasures of the Donbas are at stake? Stay with us as we uncover why Ukraine is far more than a battlefield. It is the key to a geopolitical chessboard that could redefine the future of Europe and the world. Crimea, a key point in the Black Sea. Its location on the Black Sea gives Crimea a geostrategic value that has fueled disputes for centuries. The peninsula contains oil and gas deposits in its waters, vital for Russia, as well as minerals such as iron and manganese. Its fertile soil supports wheat, grape, and fruit cultivation, but it faces severe water shortages since Ukraine blocked the North Crimean Canal, which provided 85% of the supply. This deficit has reduced agricultural output and increased reliance on external resources. Historically, Crimea has also been an important tourist destination, especially since the Tsarist era. Its coastal cities, Yalta, Sevastopol, and Feodosia, combine beaches, resorts, and historic monuments. Among them, the Livadia Palace stands out, the site of the 1945 Yalta Conference. Regarding its past, the first Greek settlers arrived in the 6th century BC, establishing trading ports. Later, the peninsula was ruled by Scythians, Romans, and Byzantines. In the 13th century, the Crimean Khanate emerged, founded by Mongol Tatars and subordinated to the Ottoman Empire. Russian control began in 1783 with the annexation by Catherine the Great, who promoted colonization and secured dominance over the Black Sea. Sevastopol became the main base of the Black Sea Fleet, a role it maintains today. In 1944, Stalin ordered the mass deportation of Crimean Tatars to Central Asia, accusing them of collaborating with Nazi Germany. Thousands died, and they were only able to return in the 1980s. In 1954, Nikita Khrushchev transferred Crimea to Ukraine, a move presented as a gift for the 300th anniversary of the Treaty of Pereyaslav, but also motivated by the peninsula's economic dependence on Ukraine. After the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991, Crimea remained part of Ukraine as an autonomous republic, while Russia maintained its naval base under a leasing agreement. The situation changed in 2014, when Russia occupied Crimea following the Ukrainian Revolution and held a referendum not recognized internationally. The annexation strengthened Russia's military presence but triggered sanctions and new displacements of Crimean Tatars. Today, Crimea remains a flashpoint. Ukraine claims sovereignty, while Russia consolidates its political, economic, and military control. The Donbas, the industrial region in dispute. The Donbas is more than an industrial area. It symbolizes the conflict between Ukraine's drive for independence and the persistent shadow of Russian influence. Rich in coal and iron, it has long been the industrial engine of eastern Ukraine and a focal point of Russia's imperial ambitions. During both the Russian Empire and the Soviet Union, the Donbas experienced an unprecedented industrial expansion. Its mines and factories, powered by abundant natural resources, fueled regional economic development. Coal and steel from the Donbas formed the backbone of Soviet industry, turning the region into an economic giant. It became a stronghold of socialist industrialization, with massive steelworks and mining complexes supporting the USSR's military and economic machinery. Donetsk, with its coal mine network and industrial heritage, and Luhansk, with its weapons factories, became symbols of Soviet power. Mariupol, on the Sea of Azov coast, hosted major shipyards and steel plants, while Melitopol emerged as a strategic hub for transportation and energy supply. The combination of mineral wealth and geopolitical location made the Donbas a critical area during the Cold War, and later, in post-Soviet tensions. The separatist conflict that began in 2014 marked a turning point. Russian intervention and the declaration of the Donetsk and Luhansk People's Republics underscored the region's geostrategic importance. The Donbas's reserves of coal, steel, and energy resources remain vital, not only for local economies, but also for Russia's influence across the Black Sea and Eastern Europe. Control over this industrial heartland continues to shape the regional balance of power, demonstrating that its significance lies as much in strategic positioning as in natural resources. Odessa, strategic crossroads of the Black Sea. For Ukraine, Odessa is its main maritime gateway and an indispensable economic engine. For Russia, it is a key piece in controlling the Black Sea and its trade routes. The city handles over 60% of Ukraine's maritime trade, particularly the export of grains that feed millions in Africa and the Middle East. It is also a terminal for crucial pipelines and a railway hub connecting Eastern Europe and Central Asia. Its deep-water port allows year-round operations, making it a highly valuable military and commercial asset. Capturing Odessa would allow Russia to complete the maritime blockade of Ukraine, effectively isolating the country from foreign trade and severely weakening its economy. For this reason, the city's resistance symbolizes Ukrainian determination in the war. Historically, Odessa has been a site of major conflicts. It withstood the Nazi siege in 1941 and is currently a recurrent target of Russian attacks. This tradition of resilience is deeply ingrained in its identity. Founded in 1794 by order of Catherine the Great, on the site of ancient Greek and Ottoman settlements, Odessa grew rapidly after being designated a free port in 1819. This status attracted merchants from around the world, creating a cosmopolitan character still evident in its streets. Its architecture blends neoclassical, Art Nouveau, and eclectic styles along wide avenues. The Potemkin Stairs, immortalized by Eisenstein, connect the upper town with the port and have become one of its icons. In 2023, UNESCO declared Odessa's historic center a World Heritage Site. Highlights include the Opera and Ballet Theater, considered one of the most beautiful in the world, and the extensive underground catacombs, the largest in Europe. During the Russian Empire, Odessa became the third largest city. Under the Soviet Union, it was the most important port for grain exports. Beyond its economic and military significance, Odessa is a renowned cultural hub. The poet Pushkin lived here and wrote some of his most famous works. Thus, Odessa represents both a strategic stronghold and a cultural treasure at the heart of the contest between East and West. Ukraine. The Granary. Under fire. The war has turned Europe's agricultural heartland into a battlefield. The occupation of fertile areas in the east and south, the destruction of infrastructure, and the blockade of ports have reduced Ukraine's agricultural output by more than 35%. Exports plummeted, causing a 23% increase in global food prices in 2022 and triggering a crisis that affected millions. The Black Sea Grain Export Initiative temporarily eased the shortage, but full recovery could take decades due to contamination from explosives and heavy metals. This impact is no coincidence. For Russia, controlling Ukraine's black soil ensures its own food security and expands its geopolitical influence. Although Russia is also a major exporter, its soils and climate are less favorable. Capturing regions like Kherson and Zaporizhia, responsible for 30% of Ukraine's agricultural production, would consolidate Russia's position as a food superpower and give it leverage over countries dependent on its grains. Ukraine holds 1/3 of the world's black soil, Chernivtsi, with depths of up to 1.5 meters and up to 15% organic matter. These soils, among the most fertile in the world, allow high yields without chemical fertilizers. This richness earned the country its nickname, the breadbasket of Europe. The name Ukraine comes from Slavic roots meaning borderland, historically linked to the color and fertility of its fields. During the Russian Empire, Ukrainian provinces supplied over 40% of exported cereals. Under the Soviet Union, they produced nearly a quarter of all Soviet agricultural output. Before the conflict, Ukraine led the global market in sunflower oil, 30% of worldwide exports, ranked 5th in wheat exports, 10%, 4th in corn, 16%, and 3rd in barley. With only 0.5% of the world's population, it fed approximately 400 million people. Countries such as Egypt and Lebanon relied on Ukraine for up to 80% of their basic wheat supply. Today, the fate of these lands not only shapes Ukraine's economic future, but also the balance of global food security. The water in the Russia-Ukraine war. In this conflict, controlling water is equivalent to controlling life. The Dnieper River, stretching 2,200 kilometers, is a prime military target. Its dams, reservoirs, and bridges have been attacked, such as the destruction of the Kakhovka Dam in 2023, which caused massive flooding and disrupted the water balance in southern Ukraine. The North Crimean Canal, built during the Soviet era to divert water from the Dnipro to the peninsula, has also been a key asset. Ukraine blocked it in 2014 following Russia's annexation, triggering a water crisis that may have influenced the 2022 invasion. It is no coincidence that Russia restored the canal's flow in the early stages of the war. When the Dnipro's infrastructure is damaged, other rivers such as the Dniester, Southern Bug, and Donets become crucial, supplying more remote regions and mitigating water shortages. The Dnipro's importance extends beyond wartime. Since the Middle Ages, it served as the major artery connecting the Baltic and the Black Sea, fostering the rise of Kyiv. Today, its waters irrigate crops, supply over 1 million people, and generate electricity through 6 hydroelectric plants. In Ukraine, water is not just a natural resource. It is a geopolitical tool that shapes the country's economy, resilience, and future. This war has reaffirmed an ancient lesson: whoever controls the water, controls life. The story of Ukraine is far from over, and your voice matters. Share your thoughts in the comments. What's your view on this conflict? If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to join us for the next chapter.